Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I will share with you one of the most important and powerful moments in Islamic history, the last sermon of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This was not just a farewell message but a timeless guidance for all humanity. It was delivered on the ninth day of Dhul Hijjah, during the Prophet's final pilgrimage at Mount Arafat in Mecca. Thousands of Muslims gathered as the Prophet gave his final reminders, filled with wisdom, compassion, and divine truth. The Prophet, peace be upon him, began by calling the attention of all people, saying that he might not be with them again after that year. He then reminded everyone to listen carefully and to share his message with those who were not present, emphasizing that his words were not just for those around him, but for all generations to come. He then spoke about the sanctity of life and property, commanding the believers to treat one another with justice and to return what rightfully belongs to others. The Prophet said, "Regard the life and property of every Muslim as a sacred trust." This highlights the importance of fairness, respect, and accountability among believers. He also abolished usury or interest, declaring that all forms of unfair gain and exploitation are forbidden in Islam. The Prophet himself set the example by waiving all interest owed to his uncle, Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib, proving that justice begins with oneself. The Prophet, peace be upon him, further reminded his followers about the rights of women, teaching that women are partners in life and must be treated with kindness and respect. He said, "Treat your women well and be kind to them, for they are your partners and committed helpers." This statement continues to serve as a moral foundation for mutual respect within families and society. He then warned the believers to beware of Satan, who could mislead them in small matters, and even if he could no longer influence them in major ones. He urged everyone to remain steadfast in faith and not to distort divine commands for worldly benefit. Moreover, the Prophet, peace be upon him, emphasized the 5 pillars of Islam: to worship Allah, pray 5 times a day, fast during Ramadan, give zakat, and perform Hajj if able. These acts, he said, are the core of a Muslim's obedience and devotion to Allah. But perhaps the most remarkable message in his sermon was the declaration of equality among all people. He said, "All mankind is from Eve and Adam. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor does a non-Arab have superiority over an Arab. A white has no superiority over a black, nor a black over a white, except by piety and good action." Through these words, the Prophet, peace be upon him, abolished racial, ethnic, and social discrimination, reminding humanity the true honor lies only in righteous and moral conduct. The Prophet then gave his final message of his guidance. "I leave behind me 2 things, the Quran and my Sunnah. If you hold fast to them, you will never go astray." This become the eternal instructions for Muslims to follow the divine word of Allah and the example of His messenger as the path to truth and salvation. Finally, he then recited the last revealed verse from Allah. "This day, I have perfect for you your religion, completed my favor upon you, and chosen Islam as your religion." In Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:3. At the end of his sermon, the Prophet asked the crowd, "Have I conveyed the message?" And thousands of voices replied, "Yes, O Prophet of Allah." Then the Prophet he raised his finger toward the sky and said, "O Allah, bear witness." From this sermon, we learn that the Islam is a complete way of life built in justice, equality, compassion, and devotion to Allah. The prophet's final words remind us to live righteously, to respect one another, and to uphold the moral values that unite us as one ummah. The last sermon of Prophet, peace be upon him, is not just a historical speech. It is a lifelong guide for humanity. It calls us to fairness, kindness, unity, and faithfulness to Allah's word. Let us reflect on these timeless teachings and strive to live by them in our daily lives. May Allah guide us to follow the Quran and the Sunnah and keep us steadfast on the path of righteousness. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.